Thank you to the organisers for the invitation. I'm so proud to be here to represent our organisation, the Countess, that has been fighting for women, children and LGBT people's rights in Ireland since 2024. It's so inspiring to be here with so many others who have come together from all across Ireland and from all backgrounds to stand up for women. All of you here who have taken this action, or those who could not come but who have written letters, had conversations, spoken up and held their ground, should be so proud. We are in an existential fight against a very powerful and insidious ideology that has embedded itself across the whole world in policy, law, media and institutions at the highest level. It's at times like this that our mettle is tested. Will we stay quiet, go along with what we know is wrong, or will we speak out? And no one can ever know how they will respond in a situation until the time comes, until the test arrives, until their backs are against the wall. Well, we here can look in our hearts and we can know our worth. We know that we can stand up for what we know to be true, that men cannot be women, women cannot be men, and children must be protected. In preparing for today, I was thinking about how the Gender Recognition Act has impacted Irish society. And we can name the tangible harms, the numbers of men in women's prisons, the numbers of medals lost in women's sports, how many single-sex spaces no longer exist, and so on. But I started to think about the intangible harms, things we all feel but cannot see. And those harms are there. They're in the psyches of the women in Limerick prison, threatened and abused by men who say they're women in the very place they should be most secure. Women seeking refuge in homeless hostels, whose basic need for shelter and private and safety is destroyed because a man wants to act out his fantasy and prance around in French knickers, assaulting women who look sideways at him. Those harms are there in the bodies and minds of young transitioners and detransitioners. Young people sold the lie that they can change sex, that they can become someone new, and in doing so escape whatever trauma, distress or unhappiness they are experiencing. Instead of personal growth and understanding that happens as we mature and as we face the difficulties in our lives, they've had their bodies altered, their minds fragmented and their development halted. Instead of reassurance that their discomfort is normal and their bodies are perfect as they are, they are instead encouraged to engage in the worst form of self-harm, a total rejection of the self, of their bodies, of their minds. Instead of growth, stagnation. Instead of self-acceptance, an obsession with forcing the lie upon the world. This damage is only now becoming known and will never fully be resolved. We must reckon with how to help these young people navigate the world, and it's clear that their former cheerleaders in the trans movement will not be the ones that offer that help. We must offer. The harms of the GRA go even deeper. They have shaken the foundation of our society. For me, as a woman growing up in the 90s, I genuinely believed things were getting so much better for women. I believed we were becoming equal to men and that our concerns and needs were being understood by those in power. I looked at the increasing numbers of women in politics and felt so much hope. I now know that I am fully expendable, that we as women mean nothing when men want something. My trust in the media is totally broken. My respect for journalists, with a few notable exceptions, has been completely lost. If they cannot or will not speak the most basic truths and describe a man as a man, then how could I believe anything that they say? Having grown up in a Labour household, my belief in left-wing movement and left-wing parties is completely shattered, never to be repaired. They gleefully threw me under the bus, screaming obscenities at me when I objected. Even the so-called centre-right Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have abandoned all reason. I now have no problem speaking to and relying on the most conservative politicians, even when I disagree with them on most things. I know they will stand up for what they believe in, and I respect that stance. Women have had their concerns completely disregarded by employers who prefer to let men who say that women go wherever they want than to protect their female staff and keep their toilets and change rooms single sex. But how can these women ever feel safe in their employment when their concerns are so totally ignored? Similarly, parents have realised that their children will be taught this gender ideology in schools whether they agree or not. They face battles with the very people they should be able to trust with their children's well-being. One of the saddest aspects of all this for me has been the impact on families and friends. Lifelong bonds have been broken because some people cannot accept our disagreement or our stance. They refuse to even discuss our concerns, and those fractures will take a long time to heal if they ever can. But how will we ever come back from this? When we win this fight, and I do truly believe we will, how will we women, how will we unsee the harms, the betrayal, the breach? I just want to talk about one of the most fundamental harms of this, the loss of the very words we use to describe ourselves. One of the very first campaigns the Countess ran was called "These Words Belong to Us." And this successfully stopped the words mother and woman being removed from maternity legislation. In doing so, we cemented our determination not only to protest against the inclusion of men in women's spaces, but our determination is to resist the attacks on womanhood itself. It is not by accident that we've all been coached to use gender-neutral language. By breaking down our bodies into constituent parts, our uteruses, our vaginas and our breasts, they can complete the lie that being female is somehow separate from being a woman. They can ignore and remove the very thing that binds us all together. But it is in language that we can all take action. One of my favourite acts of rebellion is to vandalise any forms by removing all references to gender and by ensuring only my sex is recorded. I urge you all to do the same when you're getting an MRI or whatever's happening. Just scratch it out. And I just want to leave you with some more words that I wrote for Let Women Speak in Dublin 2 years ago. Please take these words and keep them with you. Ban is a woman fighting for our cause. Maher is my mother. Sorry, Colleen is a girl just like I once was. Maher is my mother, the foundation of my life. Mana are us women, united in this fight. Jafur Antin Inni, Mami is my Kayla. I'm a sister, an aunt, a daughter, a mammy and a wife. It's Lebanon of Fucklishin. It's Niguid for Edwin. All these are women's words and we will not let them be stolen. It's time now for those in power to listen to women, and together we will be heard.
I just got wobbly there, sorry Fiona. But thank you, Fiona from Sex Matters and Sorcha Nic Lochlainn from the Countess. Thank you. Now we have Sarah Morrison.